So after
I didn't get to answer. What was the
the question was, who do you think won the chili cook-off? Uncle Matt or Jim Jam Jimmy? And I was doing really well for a while there, and then I started to lose ground.
Yeah.
So I wanted to end the poll so I could still.
I bet you
win.
Jim had
you
something to
cook
do with
the
that.
Books.
Maybe.
Yeah, he got all.
He's on his.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't.
Hey,
think
vote
he
for me.
would
Vote
do
for
that.
me. Vote for me.
So what you guys said was that 64% of you thought that Uncle Matt would win, and 35% of you said that Jim Jam Jimmy would win. Now, I'm not going to tell you who did or did not win because I want you to watch the video. But Chris, you were there.
I was there.
And we're going to talk about the chili cook-offs.
It's a stiff competition.
We're going to talk about the. Would you agree that was a hell of a fun way to spend a Saturday?
Yeah, it was good.
And not a hell of a fun way to spend a Sunday morning?
After all that fun?
Yeah.
There's always a price to pay, right?
That's right.
We went back for more.
Yeah?
I drank almost a whole bottle of fucking champagne.
Yeah, well, Carrie Ann left her car there last night.
Yeah.
And so we had to go back and get it. And so Jim said, well, I'll make breakfast tacos.
I had some of those yesterday, and then he brought some. But anyway,
he made you a to-go box.
Yeah, it was funny because as soon as I showed up, I started getting fed. It was like going to my grandma's house, but with booze.
Yeah, with a lot more liquor.
Yeah, so I sit down, and the first thing he says is, "Okay, I'm gonna serve you up a couple of breakfast tacos, and you're gonna eat those and drink a beer."
Yep.
Hey, you want a Bloody Mary? Well, yeah. Okay, I'll hook you up with one of those too. And so there I am. I got a beer and a Bloody Mary and breakfast tacos.
Yeah.
And then we made chili.
And then we made chili dogs with a different kind of coney dogs.
Yeah. And then we made something else. And then we made and so it was just food.
We're gonna tell you guys about the whole day spending time over at Jim's. I know we went into a lot of it right now, but it's too much fun to not talk a little bit about. Yes, ma'am.
You're covering up your shirt.
No, I am hung over this morning. I can't pay the freight for all the booze. And I was talking with Jim about this morning. As much food as there was, we didn't really eat very much.
Right.
We just were sitting there drinking, watching everyone else's reactions to the food stuff. So
Oh yeah.
So
okay. You didn't eat very much of the chili?
No, I mean I did.
You did.
I mean I had a little bit. I was tasting,
but what time did you get there?
Like 10 or 9, quarter to 10. Yeah. Okay. I was there.
And I got there a little afternoon, 12:30.
Yeah, and you don't just sit there and sit around drinking water when you go you're gonna do chili party. Yeah.
I know. And the funny, it just seemed like that was the right thing to do.
Oh yeah.
I was even telling my buddy Craig, I'm like, because he came by yesterday to pick up some tools, and I was like, I got to go do this chili thing. It's gonna be really fun, but I know what it's gonna be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was. Yeah.
A regular laugh riot and lots of good food and beer. And when it was.
Yeah. And then Ike showed up.
No. Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk more about. So I can't help but notice that I think I have the Brad Angove cut shirt on, because your shirt is like a regular man's shirt, and I have I think when Ryan sent this over, this was tailored for
Brad.
Guys who do this, and I don't think I can do this.
Yeah, you gotta shoot all your videos from the side, and you gotta be.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think I can do that for an hour.
Yeah.
But
hey everybody. How's it going? Today we're gonna do some paint though.
So for those of you who don't know, Brad Angove has political aspirations, and
he doesn't even really know.
He doesn't even really know. But Brad Angove for president of Canada.
I
don't think they got one.
I think that's one of the highest offices in the land.
Yeah, and he's sponsored by Coors Light. He's sponsored by the Silver Bullet right there. So yeah. So thank you to Ryan for providing us with these awesome shirts, and yeah, I think if you want one of these, maybe we can make one.
I don't know why Coors Light is not up our asses.
I don't know, and I think maybe one day.
Don't want to disassociate.
I know, no, they don't want to do that. So
we're fun-loving guys.
Yeah.
Why would they not want to be a part of our our fun lifestyle.
That's just it. I don't know. Of course they would. I mean, we want to be part of their fun lifestyle. So anyway,
we include them in a lot of things.
all the time. Yeah.
Invite them along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chris, we didn't really have any chance to, because I didn't want to talk about the class yesterday. We were there for another purpose, but we finished up a Build the Classic set in that class. And what'd you think?
And that's number 3 of
that was
class
the third one that we've done. You know when the fourth one's going to be?
Yeah, next month.
Next month. Yeah.
That'll give me time to remember things that I want to change or things that I would do slightly different.
Well, so do you have kind of a list in your brain? I have some too.
It's funny because we've done 3 of them. And in a lot of ways, I think all 3 of them have been slightly different.
They have.
We really changed this one up as far as the order of things that we did. We started with a lot more neck.
We did neck centric
the first day. The first day, and then we did bodies and and it was they're always good and they're always fun. And by Friday, everybody's ready for their guitar to be finished.
Yeah. But the guys were super cool, and we had a great time. This the one coming up in October, there's 5 guys coming. It's the most we've ever had in a woodworking centric class like that.
Yeah.
And so we really need to be on our game, huh?
Yeah.
To get it done.
I'm hoping for a class where we don't have some sort of weird tool issue like this time.
Oh yeah,
the switch went out on a saw, and then I wired it wrong, and we blew a circuit, and that was 45 minutes of fun.
Shit happens.
Yeah, it does. But
welcome to Guitar Building.
45 minutes. That's I'd like to have that 45 minutes back that day.
Sure,
someplace else.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway,
we haven't really been telling people about class stuff, and that's just on us. I mean, I think people are really interested in coming out, and everybody that comes out has a great time. We're sold out for the rest of this year, but all of 2022 is most of 2022 is still available, and we've got everything from Build the Classic Telly to build a classic Fender style guitar and wind the pickups for it with Dylan McCurchie from Dylan Talks Tone. That one is going to be really fun. And I maybe this week I will add the classes for April and November that we talked about, because we're adding 2 very cool classes coming up in 2022 that I think should be awesome. And we're actually going to test some of that stuff this November with Triple J is going to be here, and we're going to do kind of a little spin when he's out here for the Build and Paint with Mike Learn class. So anyway, so guys, if you have any questions about classes, or we talked about doing a video, like what to expect when you come out here.
We need
class.
to do that.
Why don't we do that like this week? We'll make that video. There's so much video. I've got to edit and post the video of you painting the Philip McKnight Challenger. And is there any way that could be done this week, do you think?
Maybe.
Okay.
We can plan on it.
Okay. I know that we've got a short week this week.
Yeah.
So Chris won't be in the shop all week. I mean, Chris will not be in the shop for Thursday and Friday of this week. So, and I've got a thing that I have to do this weekend. So I will not be able to do a live stream for Sunday. I wonder, maybe I should do maybe I'll do a Thursday live stream by myself.
Ooh.
You'll just get nothing but Uncle Matt. And will you be here, Mrs. Toast? Hard to say, right?
Duty calls.
Duty.
It
looks like we got a super chat here from Mo. Cheers, gentlemen. And Mrs. Scott, thank you very much, Mo. Cheers to you too. Hold on, wait. You have to. I think
I thought I did.
How's that work? Like if you toast someone and then you don't drink, it's not like your wish doesn't come true or something. How does that work? I don't know.
Oh, I should be making a wish?
I don't know how it works. Yeah.
Man, I've been losing out.
Brad Guitar Miller says, for the beer fund, working on my plans for a class next year. FYI, have a TT phone holder.
The phone holder?
Oh, yeah. This guy here.
That is the perfect rendition of the Challenger. The headstock is perfect. The body's perfect.
It would be more perfect if it was full size, but then it would be way too big.
You could put a lot of phones in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, yeah, the Challenger phone holder. But yeah, so let's do that video this week though, Chris, of what to expect when you come to a Texas Toast class.
Okay.
Thank you guys too for the super chats. I should thank everybody every time. So there's lots and lots and lots of good stuff going on. But one of the things that won't be going on next weekend is we will not be doing a Sunday happy hour. So
we better be twice as entertaining this week.
We're gonna be wildly fun. I'm gonna try to get the video coffer stocked with good stuff, like the chili cook-off. And so for those that
just run the whole thing.
Oh, I think it'll probably be something like that. Yeah. So for those of you just joining us, Chris and I have been looking forward to yesterday for weeks. And it's something that I've talked about doing, not with another guy, but just kind of like showing off my chili recipe. I've talked about doing that before. And Jim, of course, is a man of action. He's like, well, let's do that. Let's make it happen. So he opened up his home to
the test kitchen
and his test kitchen to all of us. And we had such a good time hanging out over there yesterday. I don't want to spoil it, but what can we tell everybody about the chili cook-off, Chris? What were some surprises? Because you were there the whole day.
Yeah, I was. I liked the format. I was glad it wasn't you two bumping elbows trying to
at the same time. Yeah,
that was pretty fun.
So here's how it went down. I made my recipe chili, and Jim and Chris sat and watched and asked questions and stuff. And then we switched, and then Jim made his chili, and Chris and I sat and watched it and drank. Let's be honest.
And then what did I do?
Drank. Yeah. Well, we all were drinking. Yeah.
So that was cool. And then I had to let that cook. So we went outside and rode electric bikes.
We rode electric bikes
down the street like nuts.
There's no video footage of that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. At one point, I'm like, Chris, do a wheelie. No, it's too heavy to do.
I can't do a wheelie.
Chris, do an endo. No, there's no way you could do that. Well, what trick can you do? We can't do any tricks on this bike. And I'm like, do that one where you like put your stomach on the seat and put your feet out the back, and you're like, I called it
Superman.
Yeah, and really, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So Chris like, you mean a Superman? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm like, yeah, do that. He's like, I'm not doing. Okay, I'll do that. And then and so Chris rides off down the street to like get ready, and Jim's like, this is dumb. This is the dumbest thing. This is a stupid idea. And I'm like, this is the best idea ever. He's like, if he wrecks, Leslie's going to be really mad. And I'm like, no, he's not going to wreck.
Yeah,
Leslie was out of town.
Leslie was out of town.
We were on her bike.
Look, if you don't want Chris to wreck your bike, you shouldn't go out of town.
You shouldn't leave it.
It's not
leave
my
the keys
fault.
in your bike.
Yeah.
With your husband who knows how to turn it on. Yeah, so I did a little Superman thing.
It was awesome.
Big of a deal.
It was awesome. Yeah. You were like did the Evel Knievel thing too, where you're like, hold on, I gotta keep going. I gotta ride past.
Yeah, I came back around.
Again.
Yeah.
Hey everybody. Yeah.
Got a little showman in me.
Yeah. You got. Then you did the thing.
I'm gonna have a little evil in me.
Yep.
Yeah. The funny
hey
thing
girls,
was,
I'm still 25. That's
so the seat was all the way down. So I go down to the corner and I raise the seat up, and because it's going to be a little bit easier to do, and I get my chest on the seat.
I thought it was your
seat
stomach
drops.
Okay, yeah. Did you knock the wind out of yourself a little bit?
Oh no, no. But I thought, man, come on,
come on.
Too fat for her bike. And her seat.
Rick B, who was here with us last week,
I missed an inside joke, I think.
Hey, Matt and Chris, Mrs. T, $5 for tape replacement. Maybe he wandered off with a roll of tape.
Did he steal our tape?
I don't know.
I think there was. There's always. I think I told him I'd put it on his bill or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to get another one.
So Jim is here with us, and he's probably going to be answering questions. So, Carrie Ann, you didn't go for the whole day because you had, stuff to do besides sitting around drinking. But
Yeah, right?
yeah, yeah. But you came and had a good time. And
Yeah,
of
right.
course, Ike from Flipside Music, the great
Thank you.
American guitar store, was in attendance. And guys, if you're in the Denver area, please check out Flipside Music. They
The
support
Legacy
us,
shop now.
so we support them. And you have a little bit longer to go to. If you're in the Denver area, you have a few more weeks or days or however long it is to go to the Legacy shop, the OG shop, before the new place opens. And the Legacy shop is, of course, killer. And we remember when it was just like half of, or not even half of that.
Yeah, it was just the front room.
And then he kind of expanded
Yeah.
and expanded.
Yeah.
And now I
And
can't
moving
wait
to this
for
Now
them
he's
to.
got like a mansion.
Yeah, I can't wait to show for you guys to see. And we should probably do a video when they're ready to go to show you guys the new shop, because it is going to truly be the destination for guitar nerds everywhere, including on this side of the table. Yeah. So Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, check them out. And if you're not in the Denver area, their website is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they'll
So
be
that's
happy
31.
to. That's right. They'll be happy to sell you anything at any hour of the day. Just tell Ike, shut up and take my money, and he will take your money and not shut up. Who do you think talks more, me or Ike?
I bet you Ike doesn't talk as much when you're not around.
Oh, okay, maybe.
I think he keeps to talk up with you. He talks to keep up with you.
He's an Italian from New York. He's fucking talking.
Yeah,
All
but I mean, when you get him and Matt going,
Yeah,
that
is that's a perpetual motion machine.
yeah, pretty
of
much.
Talking.
If you could harness
I think
that.
me and Ike together battle for airtime.
Maybe. So, okay, so Chris, what we're going into the big chili showdown.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts initially?
Well, so I guess I wasn't aware that it was going to be a Texas chili cook-off.
Oh, okay.
And up until Jim was making his, and I went, oh, okay.
So what were you thinking it was?
Well, I figured he was going to make some sort of like Chicago style
or
chili.
green chili or something.
No, I
Okay.
figured it was going to be red chili.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was interesting. It was funny to watch your approach and his approach to
Two very different
basic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, like just because something is basic doesn't mean it's not fairly complex to pull off.
Right. But I mean, it was, okay. And then I do this and I do that. And, oh, you don't do that? No.
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 Out of hell with that.
No. Yeah. Are you gonna? No.
Nah, I ain't doing that.
No. So.
The things that are most basic are the hardest things to do.
Sure, I think to get like ask anyone from New York that doesn't live in New York anymore where to get good pizza, and they will always say, there's no good pizza anywhere but
That's
New York.
not true anymore.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I know I'm oversimplifying this, so you don't have to chastise me for it. I'm preemptively saying, yeah, whatever. For bread, sauce, and cheese, it's tricky to get that combination right.
Right.
Yeah. Just look at Pizza Hut.
Just look at Pizza Hut. Yeah.
I love Pizza Hut.
I don't mind Pizza Hut one bit. So anyway, yeah. But
what else was interesting? Well, I don't know. It's cool. You can tell Jim really likes having people over and cooking for them and all of that, because like I said earlier, as soon as I walked in, he started feeding me.
Oh yeah, he is the consummate entertainer, host.
Yeah.
And Leslie was out of town, but
Right.
she's exactly the same way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We walked in today at 10 o'clock, and she's working on like 2 hours of sleep because she was flying around and
Was she
Sitting
back
on the
today?
tarmac.
Oh yeah,
45
She got
minutes,
back
yeah.
at like 7 o'clock in the morning or something.
She got there early in the morning on Saturday morning. And
So she went to the wedding last night, yesterday.
Yeah, remember those
And then-
pictures of her and Joy
Oh, yeah.
at like White Castle or like goofing around?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. And then flew back. I didn't figure she was back in town till late today or something.
No, she was back and she was like, hey, who's ready for a Bloody Mary? Who wants a mimosa? Who blah blah blah. Yeah. So
yeah.
they are absolutely the best hosts that you could that anybody could ask for.
Yep.
Now, not all the time, but sometimes you get an invitation if you come to the class to go to the Upright Lounge, to go to the JJJ Test Kitchen.
Depending on what's going on in
Depending,
their lives.
well, yeah, because they have stuff to do too,
It's
and
their
they
home.
have, yeah, and it is their house, so yeah. But
I liked because it was Ike's first time at the
Uh-huh.
Upright, and we're like, well, let's go down to the Upright, and Jim's like, oh wait, I got to go make
It's
sure
gotta
it's
be just
presentable,
right, yeah.
and and he was down there for like 5 minutes.
3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, 3 or
Just
4.
getting it
Yeah,
right,
I think he repainted it.
Yeah, he did.
No, and then finally, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, yeah.
So we walked down, and Ike's like, yeah, this is really nice. Oh, hold on, you're not there yet. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
into
just a beer
into
hall.
The beer hall,
Yeah.
and then into the and then
Yeah.
down to the actual bar area, and he's like, oh
Yeah. So
It's nice to find people that have similar interests.
it is. It
Yeah.
really, really is.
yeah, and everybody, yeah, it's not just all about
No.
you know,
No.
yeah.
So okay, so the chili cook-off was a big success.
Mm-hmm.
The all the other stuff that we made at least 2 or 3 videos
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, and they're off-topic videos for this channel, but I think that's going to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And get ready for more of them, because there's a hot dog video or 2 coming out pretty soon. We were talking about that today. There's probably going to be a barbecue one coming one day. Who knows? You never know. There's a fried bologna sandwich one coming. So, there weren't a lot of people there yesterday because we kind of kept it on the QT.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, as these develop some steam, people are going to want to come. There's going to be a wait list for people that want to go to be a part of these videos being filmed. So
yeah, we need a now that we've done one, I think we need a 3-person panel.
Sure, like on the cooking shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
they have,
the Forged in Fire.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
go
yeah.
See what he's doing there. Yeah, stuff like that.
Now, be honest. Did you think because Jim is an excellent cook?
Uh-huh.
Did you think I was going to get did you think I stood a chance?
Well, like I said before, I didn't realize that it was a Texas chili cook-off. And once I knew that, then I thought, okay, well, this probably going to be pretty even, and ultimately it really was.
Yeah, well, but don't.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
don't
don't tell. Yeah,
Don't spill the beans.
that's right.
But yeah, I didn't. Yeah, and I've had your chili before, so I kind of I kind of knew going in.
I thought I made a particularly good batch yesterday. Yeah. So the neat thing about the chili showdown was that you can recreate this. In fact, we have to make a new disclaimer that says, "Warning: do try this at home, because you're going to want to make it. It's fixing to be cool out, and you might want some chili."
Yep.
By the way, we've got 8 or 10 pounds of it at our house. That's like a third of what we made yesterday. So
yeah. So I think he made about twice as much as you.
easily more.
Yeah. Which was also so we're cooking it. It's cooking, and you open your pot, and you're like, okay, and then you open his pot, and it's like, shit. Yeah.
He made a bunch.
That's
of
a lot of
chili.
chili, but I think that's what he does, and then he freezes it. And
That's exactly right.
keeps it
Yeah,
around,
and then
and
when next time you go over there and it's cold out and it's 2 a.m. and you're like, "Gosh, I sure am hungry," that's probably all you have to say. And then Jim throws down and here's a bowl of this stuff.
Here's a bowl of chili.
We also have. Have we talked about
Hungry?
nachos
Hungry?
on this on the live stream? With it, I know we've talked about nachos with a few people who tune in, but have we talked about that? Like what you're gonna the nacho part of the we have another video where we make nachos because I love nachos.
I think you should just leave it at that.
And so you'll have to see what it is when you see what it is.
People that follow Facebook, there was a little live video.
Or Instagram,
Or Instagram, it was on there too. And Facebook is now on my phone. If you don't click on the video, it has subtitles. And
was there any talking in that video? Okay.
Oh yeah. And the subtitles
were all wrong.
Were wrong.
What did it say?
Well, I was talking about
a car.
I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
Well, Driddle just said homogenous.
Ah, yes, he
Yeah.
follows us, so he knows.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
something
Here's
about
an interesting comment.
All right, I'm all ears.
By Joshua Grombacher.
Joshua. So, hey, Joshua, how you doing?
He said he made Dr. Pepper chili last night.
Dr. Pepper
I've
chili.
heard of that.
Okay.
Yeah, you instead of liquid, you use Dr. Pepper,
Which is also
still
a liquid.
It's
Yeah.
liquid.
The nice thing about any of the liquids that aren't water is they add flavor, whereas
Mhm.
water just adds, water.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brad Hutchings just chimed in with for the adult diaper fund. I think he's talking to you.
It's all the chili.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There were no beans in it.
Maybe he's
so-
talking about Brad and the
good.
two Brads are good buddies. So yeah. Yeah, so anyhow. Okay, all right. So we talked about the chili cook-off. We talked about how I'm hungover.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some. There's so many great things coming up. I want to share them all with you guys, but I don't want to talk about them a lot because I
Sure.
kind of want them to be like you kind of have to wait until. I don't want to just tell you because then you won't watch the video or you won't read the thing.
Yeah.
You won't, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you doing next weekend that you're not going to be here?
I
Can you
will-
share that?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna. That's gonna be in video form. I think that
Okay.
I might be doing a video with, if everything goes the way I want it to, there will be a video with someone who's kind of a YouTube hero of mine.
Okay.
It's not who you think, and I don't know who you're thinking of,
It's also not Bono.
but it's not who you think. So yeah, it's not Philip McKnight. It's not who you
No,
think.
it's a different world. It's
Different, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different.
Totally
industry.
different ballgame.
Uh-huh.
But I'm hoping that there will be something cool. I'm going to actually be hanging out a little bit with someone who kind of got me into doing YouTube stuff. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of talk. Jim is a man of action, and he's got a bunch of stuff happening that he wants to coordinate with. He wants me to give him, and he kind of wants to go, run off and really try to help us grow what we're doing. So
Cool.
yeah, and I've also talked with Joy, who is also a woman of action and
She is a
distinction,
woman of action.
and yeah, she's going to help us out with some good stuff too. So
Cool.
yeah, so be prepared for some.
Yeah, because are you answering the question that was asked
Oh.
about the beer? How's the Texas
Oh,
beer come along?
well,
I believe it's coming along nicely.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we were we're talking about. Sometimes this is a proud moment for me actually, because you guys hear stuff that I say and remember it, and it gets filed into wacky Matt-isms, and as evidenced by I'm the nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, when you come to a class, you get to hear me talk about how Chris is the nice one and I'm the drill sergeant, and I think that was accurate. And I have a shirt that Ryan sent me that says because Jesus and Leo Fender said so or something. But yeah, so there's talk of putting one of these quotes on the beer can, the beer can design, and I think that would be really cool.
You're so smart, brew it yourself.
Well, I think if you're so smart, have Odyssey Beer Works
Oh shit!
make you a
It's
beer.
okay.
That's what I did.
It's
What?
okay.
Hey, you
Mhm.
can't.
my
Yeah,
caster
yeah,
hit the
yeah.
tripod.
Your calves hit the tripod.
My caster.
Meh. So, yeah. So, okay. So, yeah. But there's lots and lots and lots of good stuff coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There is.
you don't have to move it back. It's fine. It's
I'm doing it.
if you move it, then yeah, okay.
Relax.
So, Chris, let's talk about guitars. We're here to talk about chili. We did it. We're talking about how Brad Angove should run for president of Canada,
Doing it.
which it's not a thing, but we did it.
I believe he's doing it.
Talked about
Just because it's not a thing doesn't mean you can't run for
doesn't
it.
mean he does. That's
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
right. Yeah,
Might be easier that way.
yeah, might actually get some traction. So let's talk a little bit about guitars. I put a picture on the thumbnail,
Uh-huh.
and you saw it, and you're like, "What is that? A Goya?"
Range Master?
Yeah, Sparkle Master. Yeah,
It's a
Range
Range
Master.
Master.
So, and I'm like, yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. And because I just did like a search for vintage guitars, and
Oh, okay.
I think those are I think those are quirky and cool. Now, have you ever played Goya?
I've never played one. I played a Goya, but not a range master. It was pretty neat. It's that quirky kind of stuff that I dig.
How old do you reckon that one?
I think the one that I played was late 60s kind of thing.
No, but the one in the picture.
Same age.
Okay.
Yeah, mid 60s, late 60s.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did Goya make like any lawsuit guitars or?
I don't know a whole lot of history of Goya, but I don't think they did.
I don't know what made me say, did Goya ever make any lawsuit guitars? But it got me to thinking. I really think lawsuit guitars are cool. And you had a lawsuit Les Paul for a while.
A really good one.
And
it was one of the good ones.
Man. It was one of the good ones.
Yeah, it actually was.
It was an Ibanez, right?
Ibanez, yeah. And
now,
they made a bunch of different levels of those guitars from bolt-on neck, kind of basic.
Okay.
To
pretty
full
fancy.
On,
yeah,
full on.
So in the interest of letting people who might not be aware of what a lawsuit guitar is, can you give us the 30-second version of what?
So Japanese
what
companies started just blatantly ripping off and copying American guitars, and they still said
primarily in the late 70s or.
Well, I think it started. I actually think it started with Moserites because the ventures were huge.
Okay.
And there were several companies that were making Moserite copies, even some that said Moserite on them. And then, in the early 70s.
So they're both wrong?
Yeah, they were totally wrong. They started making Strats and Les Pauls, and Les Pauls for some reason seemed to be
were a big
one that they really grabbed a hold of and did.
And sometimes they looked exactly like the original, or sometimes they looked more like the original than not, and sometimes they added little flourishes, kind of like, here in Japan, we know what you Americans like, a fancy tailpiece with a little scrolling and
a little bit,
stuff.
The American companies had to kind of chase them down and get them to stop doing it. And there were lawsuits, but there was never
lawsuits.
I don't believe anybody ever lost a lawsuit. Nothing ever went to court.
Okay.
There was lots of paperwork filed, but all the companies said, "Okay, we won't make those." And for Gibson, that meant no Gibson headstocks. You could buy an Ibanez and a Greco and all these other
doesn't Gibson own Greco now? Or maybe they did
so,
back then.
That have the open book headstock. And that was the only thing that my Les Paul didn't have was that. It was a 77.
Okay.
And it had Ibanez's own spin.
There's some comments that the counterfeits are better than the.
Let's hear some of them.
Yeah, there was certainly a time when that was the prevailing idea, was that the Ibanez and all of those were better than the stuff
the original,
that
So Jeremy Cole said
Norland era Gibson was producing.
I got a
Hi, Jeremy.
a Meteo Strat, and it's probably better than any legit Fender of the time.
Well, that was kind of the thing, is that especially if you add the words "of the time," that really rams it home. So in the 70s, Gibson and Fender, and even into the 80s, we're kind of sucking some wind a little bit. Yeah.
Andy Mandiak said Ibanez lawsuit models were better than their U.S. counterparts.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Ibanez frosted head. Ibanez Stray was made of sen wood. Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I lost it. Sorry.
Yeah. So the Ibanez stuff looks and I've heard plays every bit as good as like the classic vintage stuff they were trying to emulate, and is superior to what they were making in the 70s.
Well, and the funny thing is Ibanez isn't a factory; it's a guitar company.
Yeah.
And there was a factory that was making guitars for them and a bunch of others. So there were Ibanez versions and a whole bunch of other people. Just because we're talking about Ibanez, just because that's the first word that comes to my mind. But there was several really, really good Japanese factories. And the funny thing is how did they? I mean, it wasn't like it was super, super easy to get a Les Paul or a 59 Les Paul or whatever over to Japan to be able to copy it, but there they were making these really, really nice.
They knew how to make guitars, and they knew how to look at a picture of a guitar and go, well, let's just make that.
I think all the dimensions are right. You know, I played Tokai Strats that are really, really nice, and everything's exact on it.
Wow,
it's like,
cool.
Okay, cool. And anyway.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
I lost it. Where'd it go? Okay, Cecil music.
Hey, Cecil.
Tokai Love Rock. Les Pauls from Japan were said to be better than the Gibsons back then.
I would totally believe that. Yeah,
same factory.
You mentioned the Norland era Gibsons, and everyone kind of. You got to remember that what's cool now and cool and vintage 20, 30 years ago was not cool and vintage. 20 or 30 years ago, a 59 Les Paul, a 54 Strat, a 57 Strat like Jim has, super cool. A 77, a 72, or whatever Gibson, not cool. Same era Fender, not cool. 30 years ago. Now it's different, but yeah. And of course, here's a story that everybody ought to know. One of the most famous Les Paul guitars of all time was absolutely positively not made by Gibson. I know the answer. You know the answer. That's right. So for those of you who may not know, the Slash Appetite for Destruction guitar was in fact not made by Gibson. But I remember when that album came out and it was on MTV and reading those guitar magazines, it was like, oh, and then he got a 59 Les Paul, and we were all like, whoa, cool, in 1986 or whatever it was. And as it turns out, it was a boutique instrument made by, depending on who you talk to, a guy named Max or a guy named Chris Deering. And I don't know the answer. I wasn't there, but this guy would make counterfeit guitars, and they were handmade instruments, and they were really good. And he's like, well, this is what everybody likes. I'm going to make these. And they said Gibson on them, and they had Seymour Duncan, I think, pickups.
And they passed it off as a real Gibson for the longest time.
Yeah. So
I don't even know when it became a thing that you knew that guitar was not what it was.
So
supported.
In the 50s, the Gibson company made a signature model for Les Paul, and it was called the Gibson Les Paul. So there was a guy in California who was he's dead now. But there was a guy in California who built this basically exact copy, exact replica of this 59 Les Paul. And it was, it wasn't like a specific 59, I don't think. It was just a 59 Les Paul. And he did it right, and he used all the cool stuff that everybody goes, ooh, you got to have that cool stuff. Which, by the way, is not a whole lot different from what factories like Gibson and Fender do today when they make reissue stuff. Only he wasn't at the factory making reissue stuff. He was in his workshop in California. And so he makes a copy of Les Paul's signature guitar from 1959. Now, Slash goes on to sell mega humongous record, numbers. And hey, man, and not too long ago, Gibson decided to make him a signature model of somebody else's signature model of a copy of a guitar that was made by Max or Chris Deering in the 80s and of a 59 Les Paul. So what you have now that you can go to Sweetwater or wherever. I think you can still buy it, right? The Slash signature model.
I think so, maybe.
Counterfeit of the counterfeit.
Yeah, so you can buy a Slash model Gibson, which is a replica of the guitar that he used on the Appetite for Destruction album, which was a replica, actually a counterfeit replica of a 1959 Les Paul signature model guitar. So right now you can go to one of those places and you can buy a signature model of a counterfeit replica of a signature model. And it is my sincerest hope that one day you and I will make, and I don't know if this will ever happen, but wouldn't it be cool? And we've talked about this before. You guys know this one. Wouldn't it be cool to have some guitar slinger come to us and go, I want you to make me a replica of the Gibson / signature model of a counterfeit replica of a signature model. And then one day we'll be dead by then. Well, one day this guy will have Gibson make him a signature model of a counterfeit replica of a signature model of a counterfeit replica of a signature model.
Yeah.
And it'll just keep going and going and going. Yeah. But the slash
Circle
Les
of
Paul,
life.
exactly. The slash Les Paul story is, to me, almost as much fun as the Gibson Modern story, which I'm bringing it back to what may or may not be a counterfeit guitar. And by the way, Chris, I want you to talk about that. Bobby Dill sent us $10. Thank you very so much, Bobby. That's very kind of you, sir.
Yes.
And I got your emails, sir, and I will be getting back to you tomorrow, if not sooner. In fact, everyone who sent me emails, I will get back to you tomorrow, if not sooner.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
So what do you think about the Gibson Modern that Billy Gibbons claims to have?
As much as now, I do believe that they did actually build Moderns.
I want to believe that too.
I'm just reading the Deke Dickerson entry in his book, and he deep dives into that guitar and all the stories that people tell. And there's even, guitars that have turned up from that famous road trip that the salesman took and sold off all these things. And
well, speaking of Bobby Dill, and that happens in our shop where we're like, let's make one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We're going to sell this one as a project.
Sure.
And Bobby Dill buys it and puts it together, which is absolutely cool, and we love Bobby Dill. He's awesome.
So the one that Billy Gibbons has, maybe it's the real thing, maybe it's not. I mean, I don't know enough of the story of his to know, when did he get it?
Well, and he never tells much of the story either.
Yeah. So,
I heard about that. Yeah.
So another weird, Ibanez had Moderns in 77 or 75.
They had the and in fact,
and it had a big G
whoever the guitar player was for Eddie Money in the Shaken video has an Ibanez lawsuit Modern. Yeah, that's a good song.
Yep. And so is his real? I don't know. So there's a story of a guy that needed a guitar, worked at Gibson, needed a guitar for almost like a prop.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing he was in a theater company or something like that, or his kid was or something, and they needed a prop for Bye Bye Birdie.
Okay.
And so he grubbed up a Modern.
What may or may not have been a Modern.
Yeah.
Was that in the Deke? Okay. Because I've heard that one before.
Yeah, and that guitar ended up, I think that guitar might have ended up with a Melody Maker neck on it at some point.
Okay.
There's one that has a Melody Maker neck on it. There's all this stuff. And I figure sooner or later, I'd like to hope that during my lifetime that a real live 58 Modern will pop up.
Well, who is the guy who was driving around with a Gibson? Futura in his trunk of his car for however many years?
Ponte something.
Okay,
was his name. Yeah.
You hear that? That's someone feverishly typing.
Yeah. And it was in the back window of his Cadillac car. and he told the story of going in. They called him. The store called him and said, "You should come down. We got some cool stuff you might be interested in." And he bought the Futura, and he told the story. And this was in the early 80s, I think, when he told this story.
Okay, yeah.
Before all the lore of this, other ugly boat paddle looking broomstick guitar.
It's a more fun story to believe than it's more fun to believe the myth than to go, that didn't really happen.
Yeah, well, I think even Ted McCarty said that they made 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah.
So,
which I mean,
and there's one that got sent off to the case company to make cases, and and that was a thing.
Where do you come down, Chris, since we're talking about the wacky shapes from the past? Of all the like kooky shapes that have been brought to you by Gibson and Fender, what's one of your favorites? And is it a Gibson or a Fender?
Well, so one of the guitars that I don't think of, I really like the Gretsch Billy Bow shape. Even though that didn't start out as a Gretsch, or it wasn't really a Gretsch.
What's the story there? Now, if you guys are just tuning in, we have a Billy Bow, Rockabilly Bow class coming up in November, and Chris, you and I are going to build one too.
Yep. The way I understand it is Bo Diddley knew somebody that worked at Gretsch and got a bunch of Gretsch parts, and then another guy made that guitar originally with all the Gretsch stuff, and it even said that might be the original counterfeit guitar for all we know.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah,
and he did that one, and then he did that thing that he called the Cadillac.
Yep,
which I love.
That's a cool
one. I would
one.
like to make one of those someday.
We should. You know what else we should make? Maybe we should make it next month. The Bo Diddley square, but no, I've seen people make them, and they make them a little different, and they make them so there's access. I'm like, nuh-uh. Yeah. Let's make it as close to the Bo Diddley one as. What would you think of that?
Yeah, that'd be fun, and we should do it. Yeah,
binding would be a breeze.
Yeah, it's just this easy. Okay, now go do yours. But that guitar, for as big and cumbersome as it looks, is actually a really comfortable guitar to play.
Oh, the Billy Bow? Yeah, it is. It's one of it's a classic.
So yeah, I mean it sits nice in your lap. It feels okay when you're playing it on a strap standing up.
Plus, who's cooler than Bo Diddley?
Yeah. And who's cooler than the Duchess?
Nobody.
Yeah,
in her sequin dress.
So as cool as I think the Modern Story is, I don't find that guitar overly comfy. Sure. But Flying V's are actually okay. It's funny how comfortable that guitar can be. And the Explorer is really good as well. So
of those, I think that the Explorer, the V, and the Modern are cooler than some of the other wacky stuff that Gibson has come up with.
Yeah,
the Corvus and but those are different eras. But Fender made some wacky stuff too, though.
Yeah, a lot of their stuff kind of just all blends together though, because there for a while.
I like the story of the Electric 12s that got turned into other stuff and the stuff they did.
Mavericks and the customs.
So what was the caper with? Like, why did they do that?
Well, so
I mean, who knows why they did it?
I think by late 66 or 67, the Electric 12-string fad was over.
Okay.
And they'd ramped up. They came into the game a little late on Electric 12s, and they'd ramped up to make all these things, and they weren't selling, so they weren't finishing them.
Okay.
And they had all these Electric 12 necks and bodies and all the hardware for them, and they needed to come up with something. So they told this guy to come up with some 6-string thing out of those parts.
Okay.
And so they hacked up the body, which was dumb. They didn't need
They could have just left that.
They could have left the body. And then they actually sectioned the headstocks. And the original
peculiar. Why would they do that?
They filled the holes, sectioned them, shortened them, veneered them front and back, re-drilled holes, and put a Mustang trim on it, painted the backs black. So a lot of these bodies actually had already had paint on them even.
Okay.
They were sunburst, but they had to fill a cavity in the back, a string through.
Sure.
And so they filled that poorly, painted the whole back black, and put Mustang trims on them and called it the Custom.
Yeah.
And later they changed that name to the Maverick, and eventually they even had to make some necks for them.
But did they go through all the steps? Did they make a 12-string neck and then hack it all apart?
No. So the difference in those is they don't have the veneer.
Well, I have a question, and then there's a super chat.
Let's get to the super chat from our good friend Doug Santaniello. When do we have the winner of the chili cook-up? Doug, I will be posting the video for the chili showdown this week, probably. So yes, thank you for the super chat.
My question is, didn't you build 1 or 2 sets of matching Billy Bow guitar and basses?
Yeah, we did. And our friend Hank Martin has
he's got the Marlboro
at
red
least
and the
some
Pall
of
Mall
them.
red.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't there with like the Girl Scout cookie gold thing with the paisley fabric top?
Sure. Yeah, I don't remember. There was a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
The very, very first Billy Bow style guitar that we made is still one of my favorites. And it had a fabric top and a DiMarzio Super Distortion, and it was
That was
super
the green
cool.
and the brown and the gold.
It was black with gold and
it had that really nice gold thread in the fabric.
I'm sure there was a
we did the there's the glow in the dark Sugar Skulls one.
Oh,
that's right. Yep.
Around somewhere.
Yep.
There's several. Ike's got a really cool
Ike's
one.
got a cool one.
That's a neat guitar. So,
and if you're ever in the Denver area, guys, make sure to check out Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. Tell Ike you want to see his Texas Toast Rockabilly Bow, and I'm sure he will let you play it probably. Yeah.
Maybe.
If he's got it with him, yeah.
He's got it with him, He carries it everywhere.
Carries it everywhere he goes. That's one of his.
Hey, you want to see my Billy Bow?
Yeah, sure you do. I'd also like to thank some of our other sponsors while we're doing sponsored thanks. Steve at Maximum Guitars, who is sponsoring the Great American Guitar Building Contest. I haven't been to the P.O. Box lately, so I don't know how many entries have come in yet, but if you guys want to get in on the Great American Guitar Building Contest, Steve from Maximum Guitars said that he would basically, the entry fee is $100. He would give you $100 off a set of templates. So if you wanted to use some of Steve's templates, it's basically either a free entry or free templates.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Free.
Yeah. So Steve, so anyone who signs up, and I talked to Steve, and I talked to Mike, they've got all of the coupon codes are available. So when you guys sign up, we'll send your name off to Steve and Mike over to Maximum Guitars, and they will get you fixed up. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
I'm all ears.
Have you made a Casanova guitar or a Casanova bass?
No, I don't believe we have made a Casanova or a Super Casanova
or a
bass.
Casanova LTD.
No, we have not done any of those. I don't think. But let's get back to Steve from Maximum Guitars. He is a good friend of ours. He's a local guy to us, and he helps us out with a bunch of stuff. And like I said, if you want to compete in the Great American Guitar Building Contest, Steve will give you $100 off a template set, which is a significant deal. By the way, it's on the website. You can look at all the information for the Great American Guitar Building Contest at texastoastguitars.com. All the entry information is there. You can send it in. And Chris, what can you win?
Fat stack of cash.
A fat stack of cash. Now, I'm not talking about a fat stack of a check, although one of those big checks would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a fat stack of PayPal electronic money in your account. I'm talking about a fat stack of cash. At the minimum, 75% of the entry fees at the minimum will go to the overall winner. So if you fly out here with your guitar, you're going to have some explaining to do when you walk through the airport line with a big wad of cash, a big wad of hundreds. What else can you get if you decide to come out and participate in the Great American Guitar Building Contest? We were talking about this when Gary Taft was talking about coming out. How cool it would be. Yeah,
well, I think just the cool vibe that this thing's going to have. Lots of like-minded people. That'll be cool.
Imagine it, getting that many guitar builders together in one room and showing off all the cool stuff that they can do.
All your hardware, all your bling.
Yeah.
Telling stories.
Like war stories.
Making up lies.
Not me, but a guy I knew in the Navy.
Guy I knew in the Navy.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah. It's going to be really fun.
The Olangapo really cool. Bar. Yeah. Anyway.
You do some Bangkok taser shots at Jake's.
Dude.
Go across the street.
Why have we and I know why we have not talked to Triple J about the Bangkok taser shot?
I don't know.
You know why we have?
Because it'll happen.
Yeah, because if we do, it'll happen.
Oh
yeah.
And where are we gonna get like the
that's the easy. That's the easy part.
Rice whiskey.
That's the easy part.
I thought getting the taser was going to be
the taser. Well, that'll be the easy part too.
It's
Jim, if you're watching next
all
time,
pretty easy, and I don't know that you need to have like the exact booze.
No,
to
no.
do this.
The fact of the matter is that
we did chili water shots yesterday.
Yeah. You
And
two
that was-
jamokes made me drink hot chili water. And I'm not talking about spicy. I'm talking about it was hot.
Yeah, it was pepper water. Yeah, it was not the worst thing I've ever drank.
No, not the best, not the worst.
No.
I'd also like to thank John and Cheryl at Bitterroot Guitars. Guys, if you are looking for truss rods, they got a giant shipment in.
Did they?
Yeah, so I bought like a couple years worth.
Yeah, you
not
did,
long ago.
Yeah,
and we'll see how long they last. But I bought like 100 rods.
It's almost like you got to use a truss rod on every guitar.
On every guitar, yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah.
So, but if you guys have been having trouble finding truss rods, I just got an email from John and Cheryl that they've got them in stock. So check out Bitterroot Guitars, and if you use coupon code TXTOAST at checkout, you get 15% off. And John and Cheryl are super, super cool people. They help us out, and I like to help them out too. You know who else helps us?
He said, "Fuck you, Matt and Chris."
What does he know? What the Bangkok taser shot is?
I don't think he does.
Okay.
Well, imagine what it is.
Yeah. It's and whatever you're imagining, it's not what you're imagining.
Yeah, it's.
I'd also like to thank Dan and Calvin
taser.
at Guitar Wood Experts. We use almost exclusively all of our class wood comes from Guitar Wood Experts. Dan and Calvin are super cool guys. Somebody was asking, "Hey, where do I get genuine Honduran and mahogany?" And I'm like, "Well, check out, see what Dan and Calvin have." They sent me an email. They're like, "Oh, they got me hooked up. It's on the way."
Cool.
So happy meal for you. Because everything they have is really, really good. It's musical instrument quality wood.
So they don't just sell to us.
No,
they sell to
everybody.
Pretty big players.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, names that you have heard of. So, so check them out. And if you use Texas Toast, it's in the description, but I think it's Texas Toast 15 at checkout. You get a little bit of a break there too. I can't remember what it is. 15. I don't know. So
it's better than paying full price.
It's better than paying full price. You got that right. So, well, Chris, I think we can go ahead and wrap this up.
Sounds like a plan.
I mean, I'm still hungover.
Beer is a wonder drug for hangover.
It's not a wonder drug. Yeah.
And wash your face with Noxzema.
That's a good one too. So you're going to be in tomorrow.
Does that clear a hangover?
You're going to be in tomorrow.
You're
going to be in Tuesday. You're going to be in Wednesday. Okay. But you're not going to be here Thursday or Friday. Okay.
Correct. Or Saturday.
So, yeah. You're never here on Saturdays anyway.
Correct.
I will not be here next Sunday. So a week from today, I will not be able to do a live video. And I think you guys will all get over it. And we'll have a lot of fun.
Miss us a little more the following.
You'll have a lot of fun hanging out with us the next time.
Yeah,
and I may or may not do why wouldn't I do a Have a Beer with Uncle Matt video on Thursday?
Yeah,
why wouldn't
I should? I think you should. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be here so I can hang out with you guys and we can talk. We can do guitar Q&A. That's always fun. So yeah. So I hope that you guys have a great week coming up. And if you're hungover today, like I am, I hope that you get a good night's sleep tonight and you don't have a great big fat Rottweiler in the bed trying to push you out like I do every night. He's really, he's like
all on you, man.
No, it's not. He's really convincing. Yeah. So anyway.
It just inches over and inches over.
And pretty soon you're on the edge of the bed.
Pretty soon you're on, if you're lucky, you're on the edge of the bed. Yeah.
Why don't you just steamroll him and
that happens a lot.
Lay in the spot that he's not.
That happens a lot. So guys, have a great week. This is Matt.
This is Chris.
Reminding you that life is short. You might as well have a cool guitar. We'll see you on Thursday. We've got lots of videos coming out. We'll see you for all those too. And remember, we will not be here next Sunday, but we'll be back the following Sunday with lots of cool, crazy, kooky stuff.
Yep.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.